No, Jane, that is all. All the preface, sir. The tale is yet to come. On waking, a gleam dazzled my eyes. I thought, oh, it is daylight? But I was mistaken. It was only candlelight. Sophie, I suppose, had come in. There was a light on the dressing table and the door of a closet, where before going to bed I had hung my wedding dress and veil, stood open. I heard a rustling there. I asked, Sophie, what are you doing? No one answered, but a form emerged from the closet. It took the light, held it aloft, and surveyed the garments pendant from the portmanteau. Sophie? Sophie, I again cried, and still it was silent. I had risen up in bed. I bent forward. First surprise, then bewilderment came over me, and then my blood crept cold through my veins. Mr. Rochester, this was not Sophie, it was not Leah, it was not Mrs. Fairfax, it was no. I was sure of it, and am still. It was not even that strange woman, Grace Poole. It must have been one of them, interrupted my master. No, sir, I solemnly assure you the contrary. The shape standing before me had never crossed my eyes within the precincts of Thornfield Hall before. The height, the contour were new to me. Describe it, Jane. It seemed, sir, a woman, tall and large, with thick and dark hair hanging long down her back. I know not what dress she had on, it was white and straight, but whether gown, sheet, or shroud I cannot tell. Did you see her face? Not at first, but presently she took my veil from its place. She held it up, gazed at it long, and then she threw it over her own head, and turned to the mirror. At that moment I saw the reflection of the visage and features quite distinctly in the dark oblong glass. And how were they? Fearful and ghastly to me. Oh, sir, I never saw her face like it. It was a discoloured face, it was a savage face. I wish I could forget the roll of the red eyes and the fearful blackened inflations of the lineaments. Ghosts are usually pale, Jane. This, sir, was purple. The lips were swelled and dark, the brow furrowed, the black eyebrows widely raised over the blood-shot eyes. Shall I tell you of what it reminded me? You may. Of the foul German spectre, the vampire. What did it do? Sir, it removed my veil from its gowned head, rent it in two parts, and flinging both on the floor, trampled on them. Afterwards, it drew aside the window curtain and looked out. Perhaps it saw dawn approaching, for taking the candle, it retreated to the door. Just at my bedside the figure stopped. The fiery eye glared upon me. She thrust up her candle close to my face, and extinguished it under my eyes. I was aware her lurid visage flamed over mine, and I lost consciousness for the second time in my life. Only the second time I became insensible from terror. Who was with you when you revived? No one, sir, but the broad day. I rose, bathed my head and face in water, drank a long draught, felt that, though enfeebled, I was not ill, and determined that to none but you would I impart this vision. Now, sir, tell me who and what that woman was. The creature of an overstimulated brain, this is certain. I must be careful of you, my treasure. Nerves like yours were not made for rough handling. Sir, depend upon it, my nerves were not in fault. The thing was real. The transaction actually took place. And your previous dreams, were they real too? Is Thornfield Hall a ruin? Am I severed from you by insuperable obstacles? Am I leaving you without a tear, without a kiss, without a word? Not yet. Am I about to do it? Why, the day is already commenced which is to bind us indissolubly, and when we are once united, there shall be no recurrence of these mental terrors. I guarantee that. Mental terrors, sir? I wish I could believe them to be only such. I wish it more than ever. since even you cannot explain to me the mystery of that awful visitant.
And since I cannot do it, Jane, it must have been unreal.
But, sir, when I said so to myself on rising this morning, and when I looked round the room to gather courage and comfort from the cheerful aspect of each familiar object in fully daylight, there, on the carpet, I saw what gave the distinct lie to my hypothesis. The veil, turned from top to bottom into halves. I felt Mr. Rochester start and shuddered. He hastily flung his arms round me.
Thank God,
he exclaimed,
that if anything malignant did come near you last night, it was only the veil that was harmed. Oh, to think what might have happened.
He drew his breath short, and strained me so close to him I could scarcely pant. After some minutes' silence, he continued cheerily.
Now, Jane, I'll explain to you all about it. It was half dream, half reality. A woman did, I doubt not, enter your room, and that woman must have been Grace Poole. You call her a strange being yourself. From all you know, you have a reason so to call her. What did she do to me? What to Mason? In a state between sleeping and waking, you notice her entrance and her action. But feverish, almost delirious as you were, you ascribed to her a goblin appearance different from her own. The long dishevelled hair, the swelled black face, the exaggerated stature were figments of imagination, result of a nightmare. The spiteful tearing of the veil was real, and it is like her. I see you would ask why I keep such a woman in my house, when we have been married a year and a day. I will tell you, but not now. Are you satisfied, Jane? Do you accept my solution of the mystery?
I reflected, and in truth it appeared to me the only possible one. Satisfied I was not, but to please him I endeavoured to appear so. Relieved, I certainly did feel, so I answered him with a contented smile. And now, as it was long past 1, I prepared to leave him.
Does not Sophie sleep with Adele in the nursery?
He asked, as I lit my candle. Yes, sir.
And there is room enough in Adele's little bed for you. You must share it with her tonight, Jane. It is no wonder that the incident you have related should make you nervous, and I would rather you did not sleep alone. Promise me to go to the nursery.
I should be very glad to do so, sir.
And fasten the door securely on the inside. Wake Sophie when you go upstairs, under pretence of requesting her to rouse you in good time tomorrow, for you must be dressed and have finished breakfast before 8. And now, no more sombre thoughts. Chase dull care away, Janet. Don't you hear to what soft whispers the wind has fallen, and there is no more beating of rain against the window panes? Look here. It is a lovely night.
It was. Half-heaven was pure and stainless. The clouds, now trooping before the wind, which had shifted to the west, were filing off eastward in long, silvered columns. The moon shone peacefully.
Well,
said Mr. Rochester, gazing inquiringly into my eyes.
How is my Jane now?
The night is serene, sir, and so am I.
And you will not dream of separation and sorrow tonight, but of happy love and blissful union.
This prediction was but half fulfilled. I did not indeed dream of sorrow, but as little did I dream of joy, for I never slept at all. With little Adele in my arms, I watched the slumber of childhood, so tranquil, so patientless, so innocent, and waited for the coming day. All my life was awake and astir in my frame, and as soon as the sun rose, I rose too. I remember Adele clung to me as I left her. I remember I kissed her as I loosened her little hands from my neck, and I cried over her with strange emotion and quitted her, because I feared my sobs would break her still sound repose. She seemed the emblem of my past life, and I was now to array myself to meet the dread, bird-or type of my unknown future day.